Welcome to the Improve Your PPC Ads video series. Today we're going to be talking about a principle that has to do with giving your customers a compelling reason. Now let's talk about the technique here. Really, this technique hinges around the word because. You can see here I've outlined a sentence that kind of gives you a framework of how to use this word to come up with compelling reasons that your customers might complete a desired action you have for them to complete. So you can see here, all you need to do is insert your action and insert your compelling reason into this sentence, and you'll have some good ideas for testing. Now, what this sentence does in using the word because does is, number one, it justifies the request, right? Instead of just asking somebody to learn more or buy now, you're actually giving them a reason, and hopefully it's a compelling reason. If it's not, you're probably not going to get them to act. And so this allows you to brainstorm many reasons until you come up with ones that you think are valuable enough or compelling enough for your customers to be hooked into it. Number two, people are used to good rationale behind it, right? You don't hear a lot of bad reasons after because necessarily. For example, if I were to ask you, go get me this because I want you to. Well, I want you to is a reason, but it's not a really compelling reason. So the chances that you're actually going to perform that action for me are much lower than if I give you a reason like because I'll give you some money or because you won't lose money or something like that. And so really this framework helps you, again, brainstorm reasons, but not just reasons, more compelling reasons than the simple, ones that maybe we tend to use, like buy now or learn more. And scientific studies really have shown that people are more likely to comply when you give them a compelling reason and not just ask them to perform an action. One thing about this principle that you need to remember is the higher the stakes, the better the reason you'll need. So if you're trying to sell, a product or a service that's thousands of dollars, if you say because I want you to, or because we're the best, or something like that, that's not really a compelling enough reason for those higher stakes purchases. Maybe to get someone to take a simple action like click on your ad or that kind of thing. But especially, lower down in the funnel or, through more specific keyword searches, things like that, you're going to need a more compelling reason, especially if you're in a competitive space where, there's multiple competitors to choose from. The question would be, why should I choose you instead of, the competitor? So let's see how we use this in a test and what the results were. What we did was we have a client with a content website. What we're looking to do was improve click-through rate and engagement on the ads and through the ads with the content that they were promoting. And we did this on the search network on Google using text ads. Now this was the original ad. You can see we're trying to promote a piece of content that was about keto recipes. Keto recipes, basically, keto is a diet fad that's out there right now, and this was a pretty successful piece of content that they put out. And you can see what we were testing here is in the original, the second headline, the H2, from the kitchens of experts, is already a pretty solid headline, establishing trust and credibility in the site and in the content. And we actually already had above average CTR on this ad. And so, you might wonder, well, if you already have above average, why would you test this? Well, we really thought by using this framework of giving a compelling reason using the word because, that we had some good options to try to improve this even more. And this is the one we came up with. What we came up with was click on our ad because you won't be disappointed. So our H2 is you won't be disappointed. Now, in a typical ad or in a context neutral situation, you might think that, wow, that's kind of cliche or it doesn't sound, really compelling. But I want you to think for a second about someone, a customer, looking for recipes. If someone's looking for recipes, what is their goal? What is a cook's goal? And we thought that a cook's goal when they look for a recipe is at the end of the day, at the end of the meal, they want to be satisfied. They want their guests, if they're cooking, or their family, to be satisfied with the meal that they prepared. And so we really thought You Won't Be Disappointed was exactly the compelling reason that someone looking for a recipe would want to hear for clicking through to the website and looking at our recipe as opposed to a competitor's. So let's see what the results were. You can see here that our new H2 of You Won't Be Disappointed actually had an almost 24% increase in click-through rate. Now, we already had a good click-through rate, like I said, at around 10.5% on the previous H2. And you can see here all the way up to 13%. That's actually a huge gain when you already have an above average CTR. So we were very happy with that. And you can also see on the right there that a couple engagement metrics on the site. The bounce rate improved by 5%, and the session duration improved by 7%. So our hypothesis ended up being true that this would perform much better. So once again, this whole principle hinges on the word because, and here's the framework once again that you can use, really simple. Insert the action, insert a compelling reason, and do your test. It justifies the request. People are used to good rationale behind it, and people are more likely to comply. Let me know if you do this test, you use this principle in the comments. I'd love to hear your results, and thanks a lot for watching.